In the moments following the deadly plane crash at the Reno Air Races, a group of Bay Area men sprang into action to help the injured. They'd come to display their vintage helicopter. But as Ann Notarangelo shows us, that historic Huey found itself pressed back into service.
No one was ready for this horrifying sight, but one man's lifetime experience made him ready to respond.
To me, it was unreal. There was no big parts left. No big parts at all.
Pilot Ray Murphy's been flying since 1966, including 2 tours in Vietnam and careers in the U.S. Army and the FAA. He's part of a team based out of Buchanan Airfield that takes this vintage Huey on tour. On September 16th, they were at the Reno Air Races.
As soon as you heard the thud, because it wasn't, you knew something was wrong.
Within minutes, the crew, accustomed to showcasing this iconic aircraft, brought her out of retirement, transporting crash victims to a park across from the hospital.
He's like, no problem, let's get this thing going.
Someone requested, can you help? Basically, our team just jumped into action. We got the wheels onto the helicopter, and the group that was next to us came over and helped everyone push it out onto the tarmac.
They pushed the 6,000-pound aircraft up a slope. To make room for the passengers, they had to remove the seats where I'm sitting and flip up the seats in the back.
Brent and Dave went to triage and said, this is what we can do. Give us your serious ones. We got room for 2 stretchers. So they brought 2 stretchers out and 2 women walked out.
Everyone transported survived. The other day, Ray got a call from one of them.
And he called me to thank me for carrying him to the hospital. And to me, that was very, very rewarding, because everybody else you drop off, you don't know how they did. And it was nice to know he did good.
The aircraft is owned by 2 Army veterans who bought it as a thank you for Vietnam veterans.
We've since heard from other Vietnam vets who saw it happen. They said, you know, that just really hit home, seeing the Huey performing its mission once again.
The Huey and the vets once again in service. In many ways, it was like a war zone, something Ray had experienced before. On this mission, he credits his crew and the Huey.
The old baby did it, and I was pleased to have been there to watch her do it.
In Concord, Ann Notarangelo, CBS 5.
Now, as Ann said, most of the time Ray and his crew give veterans rides in the Huey. It's a way to thank them for their service and help some of them overcome the effects of post-traumatic stress syndrome.
A lot of heroes that day.
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of them. All right, Roberta, you could really tell that people in San Francisco